CityCast Pittsburgh is brought to you today by the Heinz History Center. We have been hyping up their Pittsburgh Hidden History exhibit since it opened. And if you haven't checked it out, now is your chance. It truly is such a cool opportunity to look behind the curtain and see what the curators themselves actually love the most. Teeny tiny toy collections, spooky stuff, a huge riverboat wheel, even a bunch of shivs. The whole exhibit has gotten such rave reviews that they're keeping it going way longer than they initially planned. But it's not going to last forever, so cross a river, cross a bridge, and get thyself to the Heinz History Center. And don't forget, kids 17 and under always get in for free. Plan your visit at heinzhistorycenter.org. Today on CityCast Pittsburgh, our region is off to such a snowy start this season. So if you are feeling inspired to get moving outside in the cold, there are so many fun options. Today I'm back with Marcus Schaffner, the founder of the Outdoor Inclusion Coalition, to talk about some of his favorite spots for skiing and snowboarding, hiking and skating, rustic camping, and more. Plus suggestions for staying warm, a little glamping, and tapping into free or very discounted winter gear. It's Tuesday, December 16th. I'm Megan Harris, and here's what Pittsburgh's talking about. Marcus, I am so excited you're back. I feel like I alone am aspirationally active, but you know how to have an amazing time outside.
So they say, right?
Yeah. I feel like we're focused on all the weather and what it can do to our commutes. But I want to talk about winter fun because that is really the reason for the season in my book. Let's start with skiing and snowboarding because so many slopes opened all over our region in the last couple of weeks. Some more are about to pop any day now. As we're recording this, there's so much snow on the ground. What are you excited about this season?
Yeah, this season seems to be headed in a very positive direction. I'm excited for what seems to be a very early start for snow, which I'm hoping will expand through January and into hopefully early April. We'll keep our fingers crossed.
April, that is aspirational.
Let's get a true snow sports season here.
What are your favorites around here?
There's a lot of options here in southwestern Pennsylvania. Boyce is always the most convenient option.
Allegheny County's park.
Yeah. Right.
Definitely the most economical, I think.
Yeah, the most economical, most approachable in a lot of different ways. It's on a public bus route. Cost comparative to a lot of the conglomerates, a little bit more approachable. Just for context, Boyce has about 4 or 5 very approachable runs, so very beginner friendly. Has a expansive magic carpet area. If mom and dad is taking you and dropping you off, they can sit.
Or if you're
in the
like
resort and in the lodge,
like I was, and learning in your early 20s how to ski for the very first time, it's nice to your friends not have to baby you up the hill every single time.
Yeah, for sure. Good spot to learn how to take your first chair. First time to take the magic carpet. There's a lot of positivity there, but it's very family centric as well. So that's what I like about it. If you're a beginner, I think starting at Boyce is a really reasonable starting point, kind of progressionally based off of terrain, skill set, duration of runs. I think the next step would most likely be Hidden Valley.
Okay.
From there, maybe Laurel Mountain, and then Seven Springs, the pinnacle of southwestern PA skiing.
You're saying that with a big smile on your face.
Yeah. I laugh because if you can ski in southwestern Pennsylvania, you can ski anywhere is the way I put it. If you can ski on ice, you can make it anywhere.
That's the joke I've heard consistently from folks around here. And I mean, I learned how to ski here and in, kind of West Virginia area, like Davis, that sort of thing. But
oh yeah.
Often the snow's not great. It's what they call mashed potatoes, which I think everyone kind of gets the sense of, especially in this moment where we have so much snow, or it's ice because it's man-made and it just freezes differently. I have never skied out west, and I've been told over and over again that it's a totally different experience.
Completely different. Yeah, it's game-changing.
What about for folks that don't need that kind of introduction? Is there a favorite spot for you for people who know what they're doing that you think is just like worth the money, the time, whatever?
Oh, yeah. Within a 3-hour drive for sure. Snowshoe in West Virginia, Canaan Valley, like that's special. That's good. That's good skiing in our region. If you know what you're doing, or even if you don't, if you want to go and try, they have really great instructors there too. Like make it a full weekend and really enjoy being outside of the city and trying something new and doing it in a new location that feels like a real vacation. So.
Yeah. Any final recommendations on gear, like how to do that? Because skiing and snowboarding, there's just so much stuff you have to have, from the clothing to the boots to the actual boards. Like any suggestions there?
Yeah, there's a lot of options on that front. Each resort has the hard goods. So I mean that by the boots, the bindings, the skis, the snowboards, all that stuff, the poles, helmet.
That you can rent.
Which is a necessity. Yeah,
yeah, you do want the helmet. Don't skip the helmet.
For sure. That you can rent. That's a one-stop shop. If individuals are looking for, discounted rates or more approachable price point for hard goods and soft goods, that's where, my organization comes into play.
Yeah, the Outdoor Inclusion Coalition.
Yeah. I mean, you could rent from us at a need-based price. So, if $25 for all-encompassing hard good and soft good is too much, we'll give it to you for what you can pay. And if that's nothing, that's perfectly fine too. We just want to see more and more folks outside. So
love that.
So yeah, just keep that in mind. Those are the options I would recommend.
Yeah. What about hiking and snowshoeing? Like good activities when you want to be out in this beautiful weather, maybe admire it at a slightly slower pace.
Yeah. Or I want to add in cross-country skiing as well.
Yeah. Another one that's a little gear heavy, but it's slow. Qualifies as slow for sure.
Very much so. Yeah. That's a good lifelong sport is what I tell people. If your knees and ankles hurt, go in this direction.
The cross-country skiing. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
What trails and spots do you love?
Yeah. So, I mean, really any of our regional parks in Pittsburgh, you could cross-country ski in or snowshoe in when it snows.
Do do you look for groomed trails or just like anything that is already an established trail of some kind?
Anything that's an established trail would be considered ungroomed, which you could easily navigate through safely. So yeah, I mean, a lot of close friends were at Frick cross-country skiing this past weekend, so that was awesome. Like, yeah, anything that is a space that has some snow coverage you could do. I've seen people cross-country ski when you can't access the road and just, go on the road and make it happen. So yeah, Frick is a good option. North Park would be a good option. That's a little bit more advanced, as you can imagine, with the hills and terrain out there. If you're looking for spots even further, Laurel Hill, Laurel Mountain area, Laurel Highlands cross-country trails that are groomed and ungroomed are awesome. Whitegrass in West Virginia.
That's a new name for me.
That's the premier spot.
Okay.
That's the premier spot in our region. Little context, that resort in the 80s used to be a downhill ski resort. And why it's so special is for cross-country skiing, it's groomed and ungroomed, but it's one of the few locations where you actually get, high terrain or high visibility viewpoints and vista points. So if you ever have been to a cross-country skiing resort, while you have some high elevation vistas at like 2,000-3,000 feet, at Whitegrass is 4,000 feet.
That's pretty high around here.
You're pretty far up there, and it's clear. You can see all of the valley. So it's pretty incredible.
Very cool. I mean, do you have any pro tips maybe for a good experience? Because like with skiing and whatnot, because the runs are short, you can kind of grab your snacks and go to the bathroom, things like that. Like in one spot, you know where you're headed, and every path points one direction.
Yeah.
Less so when you're hiking, and I feel like winter weather just adds that extra challenge.
Yeah. Well, I would say the tip that I give the most to people is temperature regulation. People don't think of that very frequently. Especially in I would say slower moving activities. Once you start sweating, it becomes more and more of a hazard. As you sweat, once you stop, temperature regulation becomes a real concern.
Yeah.
So as you're moving actively, start shedding some layers, start opening up for ventilation so you can do this activity for however long of a duration you would like to do it. So just keep that in mind. I mean, cross-country skiing and downhill skiing is a great comparison, Not really doing much on downhill skiing aside from speed control, which doesn't take a lot of body movement. Once you start into snowshoeing and cross-country skiing, you're active. It might not be very intense, but you got to be focused on staying pretty even keel temperature wise.
Marcus, I think we have different experiences downhill skiing. If you're like, that's easy. I don't sweat during that. I have a different take.
Well, I tell people that's where we're trying to progress folks to, is like, as we learn, we want to make sure that speed control is central. And that maybe there's not a bunch of body movement, but would happily
It's never once
instruct
occurred to
folks.
me that I'm not supposed to do body movement. So good. You're teaching me already.
There we
Excellent.
go.
What about ice skating? I feel like Western Pennsylvania, maybe because of the hockey connection, like we just have so many options for indoor and outdoor. I wondered if there's any spots that you particularly love.
Yeah, for us city folks, we're sitting right by one at PPG Place. So if you're willing to make a little trip out here
To downtown. Yeah. I recently learned it's bigger than the one at Rockefeller Center, which was completely shocking to me.
that is shocking to me as well. Wow, another feather in the cap for Pittsburgh, right?
Yeah, no doubt.
So yeah, there's one North Park as well. If you have the chance to get out there. Pretty good program. Shinley Park has the outdoor. If we're just staying in the outdoor realm, those would be the options. And cost-wise, they're a little bit more approachable for the full family experience.
Absolutely. For city, again, these are city and county parks, but it's so much easier, especially if you have kids or a lot of people with you. It's so much easier to get out there, to rent, to do all the things for a reasonable price. We have so many amazing assets, like the Lemieux Center up in Cranberry is really cool. It's also pretty pricey if you're going to take 1 or 2 or 3 kids, or you're rolling in deep with your whole crew.
Mm-hmm. Yep. $5 versus $12, as you...
It adds up.
Yep, for sure. Yep, that's an extra visit is what I tell people. It's like, go with the 5 and then, go back twice.
Yeah, absolutely. Have you ever tried some of the the sporting elements? So not just the skating, but like adult hockey, curling. I feel like there's been other kinds of not unconventional, but ones that regular people don't tend to play as much popping up around Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I've tried curling. I haven't done it outside. I went to the location. I think it's called Sliders in Millville.
Okay.
I guess
I know there's a
shameless
Pittsburgh
plug. I don't know.
curling club now, but I didn't know about Sliders. That's new to me.
Yeah. It's actually really fun.
Yeah?
It's really fun.
When you're watching the Olympics, which as we're recording this is coming up soon, it looks fun. It looks like the kind of sport that would have been developed by Canadians that didn't want to work too hard.
I seamlessly fit into that. Yes, for sure. It's a fun sport to play. Yeah, I feel like anyone that's the cultural vibe of bocce ball, if you translate that to ice, that's what I compare it to. I'm like,
yeah, the kind of sport you can play with a beverage in your hand if you like that.
for sure.
CityCast Pittsburgh is brought to you today by Aura Frames. If you are still looking for a great holiday gift, but you're, say, lacking inspiration, first of all, that is not on us. We are full of great ideas. But here is one more. Aura Frames are a perfect gift for someone who already sort of has everything that they need, but can be really tough to find something that they might want. No lie, I was a teeny bit skeptical of digital photo frames at first. My mom's had one for going on 20 years, and it's been great, but it's static. It was a whole thing for my dad to take out its little SD card and update it with new photos every so often. By the way, none of which the rest of us got to see in advance or pre-approve before suddenly here they are rotating over the breakfast table. Aura Frames has solved for that. You, the gift giver, can preload photos before the frame ships, and then you keep adding them from anywhere, anytime, all from your phone. It is so easy, and you can handpick your favorites before they show up on the frame. Aura will even wrap it in a premium gift box with no pesky visible price tag. Just easy to set up joy for anyone you're buying for. You cannot wrap togetherness, but you can frame it. For a limited time, save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com to get $35 off Aura's best-selling Carver matte frames. They were named #1 by Wirecutter, and you can have one by using promo code CityCast at checkout. That's Aura Frames, AURA frames.com, promo code CityCast. This deal is exclusive to our listeners, and the frames do sell out fast, so order yours now to get it in time time for the holidays. Support the show by mentioning us at checkout. Terms and conditions apply. What about winter climbing? Is that even doable in our part of the world?
In southwestern PA, it's so inconsistent that I would likely not recommend it. You know, if you're looking for locations within Pennsylvania, you have to go to like Ricketts Glen State Park, which is in the eastern side. There's a little bit in Davis and some of the
Like New River Gorge area? Can you do it down there?
No, not really. No, not to.
Is it just is it not cold enough, or is it the conditions just aren't there?
Conditions aren't there. There's a little bit of consistency in water freezing and
Okay.
access that doesn't make it a primo location.
What about like New York State?
Yeah. Watkins Glen, you could go there. There's some good stuff in upstate New York as well.
Because like there's all those waterfalls around the Finger Lakes, like that's more
Yeah.
of a drive, like 4 or 5 hours depending on where you're going. But and then if you want to go even deeper, like the Gunks, the Shawangunk Mountains.
Yep. Yeah, if as the professional in me, if you're going that far, there's some
You have other recommendations?
Yeah.
Okay, if you're willing to drive, which I mean climbers are, if you live in this part of the world, where would you go instead?
If you're willing to drive at least 5 to 8 hours, the Gunks may be a premier option for you. I would normally head a little bit more west if I was you. There's some good spots in Michigan, which is like a 8 to 10 hour. I mean, you can get to Detroit in like 7. If you go 2 hours north from there, you can really get some really good ice.
Okay, the eyes are getting big now.
Yeah, that's premier ice climbing. So.
Okay. Yeah. And that's another one that it does involve a lot of gear, but I feel like if you're driving that distance, you know what you're in for at this point.
Very much so. But yeah, folks should find their way indoors. There's a lot of, especially in southwestern PA, we have an abundance of indoor climbing facilities that are great and have accessibility funds for you to receive day passes or family passes. Like really great spot to experience climbing for the first time in a contained environment, in hopes that encourages you to go outside once we get into the spring and summer season. So. Yeah.
What about winter camping? I was surprised when you were giving us camping recommendations a while back. You said you really like camping in the winter. I think that might put you in the minority. It's more hardcore. Why do you love it?
Yeah, I love winter camping for a lot of reasons. It kind of gets me into what I enjoy doing as like a explorer in myself. Most basic sense, I don't really enjoy sweating that much. And
okay.
It's
But you like being cold?
I like being cold. Yeah. Anything below freezing is like a playground for me. I really enjoy that. So that's one. I like the stillness of winter. When you go into nature, there's a lot of positive aspects of it, but to me, the consistency is the wind's howling and there's most likely snow, which I think is really beautiful in life. And the mosquitoes, I get to avoid that. I mean, just the basic, the basics.
Fewer bugs.
Yeah. The basics are always a very beautiful thing for me. And at that point in the winter, there's not many kind of blood-sucking predators out there for me, especially in our region.
You also, I feel like, probably don't have as much competition. Like people aren't itching to do rustic camping, especially outside, in quite the same way.
Very much so. Yeah. There's very few of us, but I would say if you get a chance to experience it, and it doesn't have to be 20 below outside. You should try it at least.
No,
once.
20 above would be ideal, probably. Maybe 30. Are there campsites that you love? Not to blow up your spot, but it sounds like, again, a little less competition.
Yeah. I mean, there's plenty of options. I tell people the easiest way to approach winter camping is the Laurel Highlands Trail. Any of those that run through state parks, you can camp at. So that's Ohiopyle, Laurel Ridge, Laurel Mountain, Raccoon Creek State Park, even. All of those have rustic campsites that you can camp on.
And usually facilities too, like bathrooms and things like that. So it is rustic, but you have a thing there. Yeah.
You have, running water when there's the ability for running water, candidly. If
it freezes there too.
Yeah, it's just things to contribute to your preparation as you go out there. But in Raccoon Creek State Park, they do have rustic cabins that you can stay at that are available year round, which is very difficult to find. A lot of the rustic cabins, they normally close, at least DCNR managed, Department of Conservation and Natural Resources for the state.
Yeah.
Those close normally second to third week of December, and then they don't open back up until April. So just keep that in mind. But if you're willing to bring a tent out, those are the locations I would recommend. But if you're interested in just getting started on this pathway, there's a lot of different ways to go besides just, going all in.
Going straight into the tent in the middle of the winter. I mean, what are the ways?
Yeah. When people ask me, I always recommend, I guess they were called getaway cabins back in the day, but now they're called postcard cabins.
I haven't heard of that term.
Oh, well, I've stayed at a few of them. They're really cool, but there's one in Ohio, and they essentially are just like module little small yurt trailers that they pull out.
Okay.
And they're year round. They're owned by a conglomerate now, I think like IHG or something like that, hotels. Nonetheless, to get to the actual point, you're able to stay there and it feels very rustic, and it's a good entry point, especially for winter camping, because you can go outside and just sit by the fire as long as you feel comfortable with. And if you're like, okay, I'm ready to call it a night, just go inside.
Is it heated in there? And are there bathrooms?
Heated, bathrooms, showers, running water. All of that is self-contained just for you. So it's not a public amenity or shared space. It's you and whoever you decide to stay with. Okay.
I mean, is it like the fancy kind where like they've got all the windows and it looks like an Instagram ad, or is it?
Very much so.
Okay.
That's why it
is owned by a hotel company. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the best starting point. And I think as you like continue to develop your comfort just being outside for long durations, you take the next step naturally.
Okay.
Maybe that leads to you sleeping outside or doing a standard like car camping experience. Just pull up to the site late at night, pitch your tent before it gets too dark, go to sleep, wake up, leave. You know? It's just progressional development to where cold acclimation is a little bit more comfortable for you.
Yeah, no, I feel like you've just done a service to all the people I know. I've got so many friends like this in my group where like one very outdoorsy person, for whatever reason, decided to fall for a less outdoorsy person. So there's like this like finding of compromise where one tries to introduce the other to the elements. That feels like a great like baby step. You know what I mean?
Yeah, very much so.
I mean, we should mention the Outdoor Inclusion Coalition has also been celebrating this year its own little milestone, helping Pittsburgh become a Thrive Outside city. What does that mean in real terms?
Yeah. In the most basic sense, we are trying and will continue to facilitate for years to come the city of Pittsburgh being more accessible for outdoor rec for youth and families. That means a lot of different things, but, we're in partnership with a lot of nonprofits, for-profits, governmental entities to really put kind of the money where the mouth is to make that happen. So,
yeah. Are there specific projects in the works already?
Yeah, there's a few things underway. There's 3 main initiatives that we're working on. One, modernizing how outdoor rec and exploratory ed is facilitated during the school time period, which I know is.
I feel like it's not. I feel like the answer is mostly it's not.
It's mostly not. There's a few constraints there, but the Thrive Outside Network is putting our best foot forward to change that, and we're piloting a few different things in 2026 in partnership with some schools here in the city, which we're excited about. So that's one.
That would have been so much fun as a kid.
Very much so. I could tell tons of stories of when I was a kid and experiencing like survival skills or like how to pitch a tent, all these things during school. We're trying to pay that forward in partnership with a lot of partners that are visionary in this mindset and ready to carry it forward. So, public schools is one front. The next is going to be reshaping how our region is represented as a key player in outdoor rec and a central hub for exploration. There's a lot of things that we've spoken about this far on this show about what our region has and the blessings that we have for public land and public space. We need to tout that as a region and as a city. And a lot of partners from the government level are excited to take that step forward and do that.
The government loves cheerleaders as it relates to like telling people to come places.
Well, that and it's a different scenario when you know what you have. You know.
Do you think Pittsburgh knows what it has?
No, not a.
I feel like most of Pittsburgh and I don't mean this bad. It's just like you kind of take for granted what's always been there.
Yeah. I tell folks you have to go other places to look back at your own home and say, well, I had it really special here. So I think that people in Pittsburgh, I'm not saying go elsewhere and experience other things. I'm saying you have something really special as an outsider that is not a, lifelong Pittsburgher.
Mm-hmm.
When I grew up and the experiences I had when I came here, I was like, wow, there is a huge potential here
Same.
And
I grew up in a beautiful area, but it was just so hot that it was oppressive to be outdoors a lot of the year. And then I come here and I'm like, oh, you guys have 4 seasons.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Like I didn't own a coat that was sufficient for this weather. That took some time.
Mm-hmm.
But it's so beautiful and you can actually be in it.
Mm-hmm. It's incredible. So I hope that the city, the county, and the state really take a stamp and active participation on making sure that every youth and family member experience nature to this full capacity and whatever is most appropriate for them. So,
Marcus, I feel like with you at the helm, it's not going to hurt. I feel like you can help lead the charge in that way in ways that so many of us might fail. But you said there was a third prong.
Yeah. The third is what we're considering an increase in public activation of play space and expanding that in regards to exploratory opportunities for youth and families that are 100% free.
So like playgrounds?
Nope, activations. So we'll put on a series of events for folks to come out and play with us as a Thrive networking community, and then we'll have a pillar, a loosely stated festival in 2026 that'll culminate all of these activations.
Wait, can we come to the festival?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Yeah.
We can sit down and do this at the festival.
Hell yeah, I would love that. But like activations. I mean, are you like, do you learn how to pitch a tent? Like, what are you envisioning? Or are you still figuring that out?
Oh no, we're not figuring it out. We're moving forward with this. But, pitching a tent is one of it. The next is mountain biking. If you're like, oh, I want to try this for the first time, but I don't have the equipment, but a partner within the Thrive Network will deliver that. And another way to visualize this is the Rad Pass, the staycation pass that used to, still in play, but you visit all of your public museums for free, youth and families. Imagine that in the realm of recreation. So you want to go climbing for the first time indoors. Sweet. Here's a pass to do that. Here in the city, there's 15 other recreational activities I can think of that are fee for service that you can now do these for free for the first time.
Yeah, and a lot of them are built for kids, but a surprising number are built for adults too. Maybe that's a conversation for another day too.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'm excited for that. I want to be part of this festival for sure. Are there any ways that if anybody's listening, they can tap in with you and the network now?
Yeah. So for Thrive-based updates, you can check out our website, the Outdoor Inclusion Coalition. So that's theoic.org. And you can sign up for a newsletter and we'll keep you informed on Thrive-based stuff. If you're looking for festival updates, who knows when this is going to be released, but I have a feeling that you will be seeing that broadcasted regionally very soon.
Let us know. We want to get the word out.
Yeah. So we're excited to share that out. And then just OIC-based stuff. If you're looking for programs, everything that we've spoken about today in regards to trying stuff and getting clothes and gear and all that stuff. We have a lot of exciting things coming out in January that we're excited to share. One being our Martin Luther King Keep the Dream Alive event for folks who want to ski and snowboard 100% free with our educators and staff. We're going to have open registration for that. So if you're interested, feel free to register for that. We'll offer 100% support, even if you need transportation to get out there, you need food, soft goods, all that. We're covering it. So all we need is interest. So if you're interested in that, check out the website and register for that as well.
Yeah, y'all, if you are hearing this, please spread it far and wide. Marcus is doing amazing work, and we're so honored, again, to be blessed with the knowledge and wisdom from the Outdoor Inclusion Coalition.
Yeah. Happy to be here. Happy to share it, too. So.
Thank you, Marcus. Happy holidays.
Yeah, likewise.
That is all for today here on CityCast Pittsburgh. By the way, we looked up those fancy cabin yurt things that Marcus talked about immediately. I have definitely seen these in my feed before, but I had no idea that we had them around here. So they're a part of Marriott Bonvoy's quote-unquote outdoor collection, and the ones, at least in Lisbon, Ohio, this time of year run about $135 a night. Thank you again to everyone who joined our membership program last week. From the bottom of our hearts, we really, really appreciate it. Our newest CityCast Pittsburgh neighbors are Joseph O., Patrick W., Victor Y., Lauren B., Robert G., Janice M., Cheryl B., Michael S., Daniel T., Beth T., and Alexis O. If you want to be cool like them, please support us today by becoming a CityCast Pittsburgh neighbor. The info and all the details are at membership.citycast.fm. We'll be back tomorrow with more from around the city. We'll talk to you soon.
Oh, I've had some pretty serious experiences. Windburn on my face. Cover all skin. That includes your face.
I mean, I feel like I learned this lesson on like a piddly ski slope in southwestern Pennsylvania. Where did you learn this lesson?
Going from Minnesota to Canada on cross-country skis.
Yeah. Okay. I knew it was going to be something extreme. Got it. Perfect.